We aren't safe. In fact, there's no hostages, no demands, no negotiations, just killings. The cause for mass shootings today at school have to do with guns, but more importantly, have to do with the people that have access to those guns and are able to pull the trigger. Americans today, especially 14-year-olds, can go out and buy an AR, an automatic rifle, way before the age they're legally able to drink. 30 states across the U.S. all carry different gun laws. Many of them allow for children to purchase firearms as early as the age of 14 through 21. We're living in one of the most interesting stages of our lives. There are more mass shootings there are today than there has been in the past century. The NRA steps back and remains silent in many of these mass shootings. The reason? They want to be able to sell firearms. They want to be able to sell firearms to teachers and allow teachers to carry firearms to school. They want to be able to have lucrative revenues at gun shows and be able to sell firearms to the civilians. And they want to be able to protect the Second Amendment, the right to carry arms. In fact, this graph that I want to show you here shows how gun sales spike each and every time there's a massive school shooting. Are we missing the mark? There are more deadlier weapons today in our streets, and folks like yourself and our children are able to buy bullets online. We're able to sell firearms to children that are 14 years old. And background checks are not all that comprehensive as you may think. In fact, the only way that you'll be flagged is that there is a criminal record, or that a court has appointed you as with mental disorder. Who are these people that are going to our schools and shooting our children dead? Well, the Washington Post conducted a survey. And in that survey, they asked people like you and I, do we think the issue is mental health? Or do we think it's inadequate gun control laws? It could be a combination of both. But from the response in this graph, it shows that mental health is the #1 issue. And if we know that as a society, what are we doing about it? Let's describe mental health. Mental health could be schizophrenia, bipolar, behavioral disorder, inability to make rational decisions, perception distorted. In fact, mental disorder is aligned with autism. And what's more interesting is that autism, boys have a higher chance of being diagnosed with autism than girls. But autism does not affect a single social economic group or anyone with a specific ethnic background. Autism has been traced, in fact, from 1975 all the way through 2009. This chart shows the autism diagnosed rate in the United States continues to increase upward. We have more autistic kids in our society than ever before. Should this be a concern? Let's take a look at lessons learned. Sandy Hook Elementary School. First graders, 20 children died cold blood by the gunman. And 1 hour before that, the same gunman shot his own mother. Who was the gunman? Alan Lanza, diagnosed with mental disorder. And let's take a look at the most atrocious mass shootings in school here in Florida and Parkland. 17 students were killed and others injured. Who was the gunman? Nicholas Cruz, diagnosed with mental disorder. And let's take a look at what happened in Santa Fe High School in Texas, where 20 additional students were killed cold by a gunman. Who was that gunman? Nicholas Pagodes, also diagnosed with mental illness. And as we take a look at all these cases and lessons learned, We can only say America's gun control has gone wild. It's out of control. I don't hear anyone consistently bringing this topic up to surface. In fact, owning a gun is a privilege. It's a responsibility. It is a lethal weapon. One of the things that we can take a look at is enhancing the way we do background checks. We can add another layer to that, and that layer will be a questionnaire specifically to address EQ, emotional intelligence, of the people purchasing these guns. If we would have this in place, these gentlemen would have been identified early on, and we have been able to save lives. We need to bring all 50 states across the nation to a unified gun control bill. No discrepancy, and everybody's accountable. Same laws apply to all 50 states. We need to have better programs in school, programs that enhance the mental health, programs that are able to train teachers and students, and programs that actually allow us to become a better society. You see, 211 degrees, water's hot. At 212, the water's boiling. And boiling water creates steam, and steam can power a train. And that 1 degree difference makes all the difference in the world, bringing us from being a reactive society to a proactive society. And that 1 degree difference can bring us to having a one unified bill on gun control. And that 1 degree difference can be the difference to save lives. And that 1 degree difference can be the difference that your child could dodge the next bullet.